Caution, the Mark Gungor Show contains adult content intended for an adult audience. And, besides that, he's really weird. Welcome to the Mark Gungor Show with international marriage speaker and author of Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage, Mark Gungor. This is your source for practical, down-to-earth marriage advice without all the over-spiritualization or romantic nonsense. And now the host of the Mark Gungor Show, Mark Gungor.
And the crowd goes wild with delirious joy. They've joined the Mark Gungor Show, the show that deals with all things concerning marriage. Indeed, I'm your host, the one, the only Mark Gungor. Joining me is always the ever lovely and charming Lady Diane. And Philip James Gungor is MIA. He's recently had surgery on his shoulder. And I don't know if he'd be any good for us today. Anyway. He's so drugged up.
I said he might be highly entertaining.
It might actually be more entertaining.
We might have fun with
if
him.
we were here watching him discuss the subjects of life on some high narcotic. Would probably be very entertaining. So anyway, so he's not here. I was just telling Tim that at some point, most of the guys I know at some point hit a point where they realize their bodies can't do what it used to do. Mm-hmm. They wind up hurting themselves. Mm-hmm. And they have to get, for me, with shoulders, Phil is muscle shoulders as well. Mm-hmm. Other guys, a lot of it is shoulder stuff, or just something, or a back thing that they do because they don't realize, hey, you ain't 18 anymore.
You can't do that anymore.
And when you're 30, they go, wow, I can still do it. I was 18, and then you hit 40, and somewhere in there, you can't do it anymore. Yeah. And then, anyway, so hopefully Timmy will be wise and avoid. Speaking of Timmy, the show is engineered by the brilliant but eerily creepy Timothy Robert Ray, pushing buttons, twisting knobs, and trying to stay awake during this incomprehensibly, immeasurably boring show. This is the show that handles your marital challenges, relational conundrums, and dating dilemmas that you can email to us at ask@markgungor.com. So that's why we are here. What do you got there?
Okay,
sunshine.
Article says,
ain't no sunshine, we're just gone.
That's right.
All right.
A new study from the Public Religion Research Institute says that children of divorce have grown up to be adults of no religion.
What is it?
It's the Public Religion Research Institute.
Public Religion
Research Institute.
What are the jobs people get?
Yeah.
Some of the strangest
They just do
things.
research on matters of religion, I guess.
All right.
They found out that children of divorce have grown up to be adults of no religion, which you have surmised in the past.
Actually, if you start giving these statistics for what happens as a result of divorce, you'll make millions of people angry. I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. If you stopped the divorce, people would be so much healthier. But it is what it is. You want to really make people angry? Discuss the context of women who have children outside of marriage.
They get very unhappy.
Oh, boy, do they get mad. Yeah. Because they have the worst statistics. You stop having children out of wedlock, you eliminate 75% of felons. Prostitution. I mean, this is amazing. Yeah. The bulk of it all comes from mothers who had children outside of it. And boy, do they get mad when you quote that stuff because there's nothing wrong. We don't need to be married. We can have babies. Okay, you can. But it doesn't.
You can always be the statistical anomaly.
Yeah, you can.
But yet, statistics say that odds are not with you on some of those things.
It's not good. Anyway, and same with the divorce, and you get people very upset when they hear that as well. But
they say 35% of the children of divorce told pollsters that they are now non-religious, 35% compared to 23% of people whose parents were married when they were children.
Interesting.
So 35 to 23.
Yeah, not good.
They found that even children of divorce who are religious are less religious than their peers. 31% of them go to services every week compared to 43% of religious people whose parents were married. So even those that stay religious. It was fascinating.
Yeah.
The story that was all over the news a little while back.
And depressing at the same time. You certainly can work very hard and be as intentional as you can to overcome that. But, Christians, we don't want to look, either, because we don't want people to feel bad. Mm-hmm. But, oftentimes in Christianity, you'll hear testimonies of people who came from divorced homes, and the guy who runs Focus on the Family didn't have a father, and they all came out. Barack Obama didn't have a father, and became president. So they point to these. Again,
it's the statistical anomaly.
Yeah, they are actually the anomaly. But those are the people we lift up very high, because that's what everybody wants to aspire to. So that they think that it doesn't matter when they do what they do, when in fact it brings very bad results. Look, divorce is bad. I mean, nobody can say that divorce is a good thing. I mean, they can argue about the results one way or the other, but...
you can defy it, but it still isn't.
Yeah.
They also said that children raised by parents who have two different religions grow up more likely to have no religion at all.
Well, that makes sense. I think they would grow up rather confused. Two different gods, two different value systems. Anyway, that's why we're here, is hopefully to avoid it. Just what happens to the individual, it's devastating enough. It's painful, man. Watch people go through it. It is brutal. Hopefully, we can impart wisdom to you on today's show that you can avoid this very painful, nasty situation. Anyway, we will take a break and come back with your emails right after this.
Attend Mark's Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage event. Visit laughyourway.com for upcoming dates and locations.
The doctor is in to have a talk with y'all. All y'all answering your questions about love, marriage, and relationships. What do you got?
Okay, it's a guy writing. He says, the issue I'm struggling with is leadership as a husband. I want to be a good husband and stand firmly on convictions that don't seem to be a bully towards my wife. Okay, so here's the argument. He was raised in a two-parent home and was brought up with conservative values. My father made it where he was the man of the house my father made it to the house of God whenever the doors were open. Got it, sorry. Even on vacation, if the opportunity presents itself, we were in a church service. Now, my wife came from a broken home, but was also raised in a church. The only thing that is, she doesn't share my view on being in church services when we're on vacations. It has been the source of many arguments in the past, and I don't know what to do. I want to incorporate what I feel strongly to be right, but at the same time, I don't want to seem like I'm bullying her into doing it. What should I do? Should I compromise what I feel is right just to please my wife? I don't want to feel like I'm a bully, but at the same time, I don't want to feel like I'm a pushover either. What's the best way to solve the issue?
All right. Now, putting in context that most people play down their position to make them look as best as they can. We all do that, right? So he's probably a real jerk. You're probably, my friend, being a real jerk when it comes to this issue. When you say, I don't want to be a bully, what you're saying is you are a bully. What do you care? What if you on vacation, you want to go to church?
He thinks it's important that they go to keep them spiritually fed, he said.
Yeah, I think, Skip, how long a vacation do they take?
Well, even if you're gone a week, maybe he doesn't want to miss a Sunday, so they have to find a church to go to when they're on the road.
He needs to check his medication. Don't be. You're asking my advice. My advice: you're being a jerk. Don't be a jerk. If you think it's that important for you to go to church, go to church. Say, okay, see you later. I'm going to church. All right, let me know when you come back. That's all you got to do.
She can stay back at the hotel and snooze.
Just leave her alone. Make her life miserable. Ask any of the kids. Who wants to go to church with Pops? I don't want to go. All right, but we're going to go get ice cream afterwards. Okay, I want to go. There's all kinds of things.
They don't want to go to church. They just want to have ice cream.
I don't care. use whatever incentive that is necessary.
Right.
So you're asking my advice? Leave the girl alone. All right? particularly you're just talking about on vacation. I assume the rest of the time everything is fine.
Yeah, it seems to be just a matter of vacation.
Let her, just leave her be. I don't go to church when I'm on vacation. On rare occasions, I do.
Most of the time, I don't either.
So I don't know. Does that make me a heathen? I don't think so.
I guess it just depends.
In our case, in our church, you can watch the services online, streaming wherever you are. So a lot of our people, including myself, will just pop on and be part of the service.
That's normally what I do if I'm not at church.
So that's it, but not physically
I don't go to another church usually. I used to, but now that we're online, I don't.
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard, comes you go to church, depending on the church that you're in. The whole time you're there, everything's just so odd and weird.
Yeah.
And, it's so different than what your church does.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of weird.
I don't know. I think you just need to relax.
Last time I went on vacation, we all sat around and watched church in our pajamas.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, we watched our church online, which was kind of fun, in our pajamas.
I think he just needs to lighten up.
That was fun.
I mean, if your biggest problem in life is you miss church one Sunday a year, I think you're doing pretty good, right?
Yeah, that was the biggest problem.
Yeah, I wish the people in my church had your problem.
Yeah. Oh, darn, we didn't go because we were on
one
vacation.
Sunday, we're really upset because you missed one Sunday. Man, that would be great. Hopefully some of that spreads around. But my advice, you're on vacation, especially if you're arguing about it, stop. There's no sense in creating conflict.
Let's argue.
Yeah, I think.
And cause a problem over church attendance.
Yeah. I love Jesus more than you. No, you don't. Yes, I do. I'm going to church. That's lovely. I don't think that's what God intended. So
no, probably not.
But however, he still can get up and go. Why can't he go?
Right. He can go.
Find some early service somewhere, get your butt out, and go say, okay, see you guys later. Bribe as many kids you can to come with you. And then just go, and then come back.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Speaking, by the way, throwing in a subject that's totally off the reservation here. The whole idea of bribing your kids to do something like that or rewarding your kids. It's amazing how many, and there's no doubt lots of people listening to me, who do not believe in ever rewarding their children for anything.
It's supposed to be out of the intrinsic goodness of their hearts.
You should do it just because you should do it, And I guess to some degree, it depends on what we're talking about, but they think they're being holy, but it's not very biblical. The Bible is replete with nothing but incentive to do the right thing. I will if you do the right thing, and he would list all the blessings that you have. Do the wrong thing, and it would list all the trouble that would come on your head. Sounds like incentive to me. Heaven and hell. Boy, that's kind of a big incentive program when you get. And not only that, do you know there's degrees of reward in heaven?
Based upon
what it is that you do. Exactly. So, I mean, this whole idea that it's somehow more biblical to teach your kid just to do it no matter what. Now, I get, if you get your kid to pick up his underwear, it's not like you should hire the Marine Corps marching band to play John Philip Sousa's do-do-do-do-do-do. He picked up his underwear. Yay, let's hear it for Johnny. No one's saying that.
Well, because some of that goes a little overboard, too. Let's be honest.
What do you mean?
Some of the praise and the this and the that. I'm sorry. I know people who they would all but hire a marching band because their kid picked up their underwear.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Some of that gets a little bit obscene. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I've never.
It's like when you preach the story of David when he went after Goliath. And you always make the point when you preach it that he didn't go, just to do it, to kill Goliath.
That's exactly
you
the point.
Make the whole huge point of how many times he asked, what do I get? What do I get?
Okay, so there's an example right there.
I like that.
Boys and girls, look at David. We always say, David saw Goliath. He said, I'll go take him and read your Bible. That's not what happens. He goes, he sees this big, fat, mean guy yelling at curses at Israel. He's insulted by it. I mean, any Israeli would want to go kill the guy just based on that. But then he overhears what the king's reward is. If whoever kills this guy will get his daughter in marriage. That's a big win, okay? So you get the hot chick, and you get all this money, and your whole family will be exempt from taxes for the rest of their lives. And David asks, what will he get? And I believe there's a third time where he asks, or a second time, which would be the third time he heard it. Now, one more time, run this by me again. What will he get? So, exactly, here is a boy, because we try to make things sound holier than they are.
Yeah.
Now, was David bold? And of course he was, but he was also motivated by the immediate rewards. I get the hot chick, I get the money, and Mom and Pa don't got to pay any more taxes.
Okay, I'm in.
I'll go kill that big old ugly thing. Now, obviously, he had that confidence, and God was with him, killing the bear and the lion and all that kind of stuff. But, this idea that, he just saw it and out of the boldness of his heart, and is not true. Seriously, people... You know what's shocking? In fact, I'm thinking about doing a series. I'll probably do a series next year. All next year. You know me and my series. When I do a series.
They go a long time.
They tend to last for a year or two. About just the major stories of the Bible. It's amazing how many people are biblically illiterate today. And even the people who know these stories don't know the stories. What they remember are the children's version of these stories.
Yes.
And you don't
Which are kind of sanitized.
Very sanitized, very whitewashed, and you're not getting the full story, because some of these guys, they have some real issues. You got, what's his name?
You have to give me more than that.
Swallowed by the whale. What's his name? Jonah. Keep thinking Noah. Jonah, swallowed by the whale, and he goes and, he doesn't want to do whatever, and anyways, you read the stories, there's really a lot more there. There's a reason he didn't want to go. He didn't want these people to repent. He wanted God to punish them. You don't hear the story. You think he just didn't want to go. He didn't have the boldness to preach. That's not true. That's not what the story's about. See, we teach stuff that's not really true.
He was a little bit resentful about what they were going to get.
He was disobeying the Lord, and he was fearful to go. They weren't fearful of anything. He didn't want these people to repent. And then when he preached and they repented, he got so mad. He's griping.
He wanted him to get theirs.
He wanted to get theirs.
He did.
I know. And he was so depressed after he said, I wish God would I just want to die. And God said, what is your problem? That was real interesting.
I know. Well, aren't there Christians like that? Is that me distorting?
I don't know.
Okay, is it just in my headset? Boy, my voice is really... Okay, good. At least it wasn't just me hearing things. Isn't that just like how some Christians are? It's like they want someone to get theirs. They don't want, they get mad when God...
God lets him off. I thought God was going to rain judgment down on his head because... So anyway, fascinating. I don't know how we got into all that. Let's talk about a wild... around the...
Rabbit trail.
That was quite the rabbit trail from one question. All right, we'll be back with more emails right after this.
Have a marriage dilemma? Email your questions to ask@markgungor.com, and Mark can answer them during one of our shows.
We're back. Mark Gungor Show. Mark and Diane. Phil is MIA today. What do you got?
She says, I have been listening to your podcast for almost 2 years now. I am divorced, not by my choice, about 8 years ago, though I know that in a marriage we both had our faults. Her question is...
Not in my marriage.
Oh, yeah.
I have no faults.
Oh, yeah. You say that one should wait for the teenagers to be out of the house before remarrying. My question is, what if I have met someone that I have become great friends with and could see spending my life with? Are we supposed to keep our distance until the teens are out of the home? We would be waiting a minimum of 4 years. I guess they're like 14, and 17, the kids that are involved. We will be, not that I think I would allow anything to happen. I think she's talking sexually, but that is 4 years of fighting those feelings. She just wants some insight on this. They're in their mid-40s.
Look, you can do whatever you want to do. It's not against the law for you to get married now. But I just go talk to other people who've done it. The vast majority of people who've done it, it turns out just to be hell for them. Those kids, especially when they're teenagers, tend to greatly resent the presence of this new person.
And it's not like you're saying, okay, go ahead and date for 4 years and then marry when they're out. You advise against the dating. It's your advice isn't against the remarrying. Like
even the dating.
It's the dating. I think she's misunderstanding a little bit.
Think about when you were 14, if your mom was dating some guy, how creepy would that be for you? See, you ask most people that does freak them out.
It puts it in the context.
Oh, I would have hated that.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have just been creepy. That's what is happening to your kids. It's creepy for them. So that's my advice. Don't everybody write me and yell and scream about it. You want my advice? That's my advice. Just wait. Wait.
And not wait for the marriage, wait for the dating. dragging 4 years.
I wouldn't.
Just thinking
I wouldn't
that
date the chance of you guys behaving yourselves. You say, I think I wouldn't do anything. Yeah, you will.
Yes, you will.
Yes, you will. You'll get all grabby, and he'll get all grabby, and you'll get all hot and bothered, and pretty soon now you're repenting for, I shouldn't have done that, and then you're gonna feel like, not bad.
Well, it's not just the remarriage that's creepy for the kids. It's the dating it's the whole having, like you said, having somebody else in their lives and all of that. It's not just.
They generally do. However, I mean, it is possible to do it. Let me give you advice advice that'll go nowhere.
Oh, we like that.
Advice that'll go because people won't listen.
It'll just swirl around.
I've had people sit in my office and I'll tell them this and they still don't listen. They're just hell bent to. They just can't get past it.
Yeah.
And that is this: if you are in a blended family situation, here's my best advice for you. When it comes to disciplining the kid, let the actual parent do the disciplining.
Yep.
And you shut up. It's just that simple. If his kid's acting up, all you got to do is say, I'm going to talk to your dad when he comes home, and that's it. Well, I don't like the way you just, that's where the argument comes in. Well, it's none of your business. It's his kid.
Yep.
Well, I'm the mom now. No, you're not. Okay? You're just not. You let the other one, and especially, and some of them just get really mad because they don't like the way the other one disciplines their kid. They're either too harsh or not harsh enough. Mind your own stinking business. If you would learn to mind your own stinking business when it comes to their kid, you could succeed at this. But they won't listen. They won't stop. They're just hell-bent, and they destroy. I'm telling you, I see it over and over again. Because
that really is the big issue in blended families. I mean, there's other things, but that is the cornerstone of it all.
That is it. And you say, well, that's not the ideal. Here's the ideal. The ideal is you wouldn't have gotten divorced in the first place. That's the ideal, that you would still be together with their mother or their father. That's the ideal. You're not, so your ideals are pretty much shot, okay? So either wait until because you ask them how they are when the kids aren't around, they're fine. They actually like each other.
It's usually always about
It's always the kids. It's the kids. Now, I could say to you, if you guys got married, will he let you handle all the disciplining issues of your kid? Yeah, he says he will. No, he won't. They don't. They never do. And if it's his kid, you'll do the same. Everybody, they can't shut up. Everybody's got so opinionated about how those kids should act, and you shouldn't be. You're not disciplining around or you're too harsh or whatever. That's where the problem is. If you, by some incredible miracle, can shut up about the way the kids of the other spouse acts, their kids, the actual biological father, you could do this. But most people can't do it. Anyway. All right, we'll be back with more right after this break.
Caution, the Mark Gungor Show contains adult content intended for an adult audience.
Oh, I don't know what to do. Here comes those blues.
If you don't know what to do, email us at ask@markgungor.com, and we'll certainly give you our opinion on what you should do. What do you got?
Okay, it's a woman writing. She says, this is embarrassing to say, mostly because I know it's wrong. I crave attention from other men. If you see me, you could never guess this because I'm very conservative in both my lifestyle and the way I dress. I am happily married to my best friend for 3 years, but I feel like we lack romance. And when I think of past relationships before marriage, I feel like I was treated with more romance than by my own husband. What should I do? I've let my husband know, but I think that he's just clueless.
Here's a word of advice for you. Everybody, shows like this and other people, they're always trying to show people how they can get what they want. Mm-hmm. This is how you can get what you want. And the reality is, a lot of times you don't get what you want.
It can be better. It can be better.
Well, do this.
It can be better.
And you want more. We'll do this so they'll give you more room. So you want more of this. You do this so they get, or do this. Here's a clue for a lot of y'all. Get a clue that you don't always get what you want. God doesn't even want you to get everything you want. Now, that's a shocker. Mm-hmm. Because if you listen to all the preachers on TV, the Lord wants to give you the desires of your heart no matter what you say. Mm-hmm. It's just not everything. Do you have children? Is it good for them to get everything they want? No. So, my advice, rather than giving you advice on how to get him to pay more attention to you, is you need to learn to stop chasing after this thing. For heaven's sakes. But I like it. I know you like it. We all like things. Sadly, we like things that aren't good for us, right? Ask most men. We like looking at naked ladies. We like it. We like it.
I know.
All you got to do is just, and you know, I don't do it, okay? But if one flashes in front of me,
you like it.
I like that. I go, cover my eyes. Oh, no.
Shouldn't be looking.
Yeah. No, I would like to say I'm such a spiritual man that if someone, I go, oh, no, mercy, I wouldn't look. No, I'm a pig like any other man because I like it. Now, I put myself in situations where I don't have that. I don't look at porn. I don't masturbate. I don't do all these things all these guys do. But do I like it? Yes, I do like it. And I like the attention of other women, too. I do. Always have. You know, it's, you know, when I'm speaking and doing these conferences, all these girls come up and hug me. Oh, thank you. We love you. I rather enjoy that.
I hadn't noticed.
Oh, well, I like, who doesn't like something like that? You know.
Being facetious.
No, I know. But I mean, you know, it's not like I hide this thing. My wife knows I like it.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, you got to be careful about that too. The best thing in my situation is the reason they're hugging me is because I help them with their guy.
Yeah.
Their affection towards me is thanking them for fixing their guy and working that out. So it's not coming at me like they want me. They're just being nice to me.
It's the concept. They like the concept of you.
I don't know what they like. I don't know what it is, you know, but anyway, I love every second of it.
Yeah.
So, that, you know, it's not evil, but, you know, you just got to be careful about it. You like the attention of course you do.
Well, and she's doing...
And she admitted she's rather conservative, so she's not, but she likes it, yeah. And here's the other problem that she has. She thinks back on all her other romances.
That's what I was going to say. She's comparing.
That's why you don't have all the other romances. You got to be careful about this, much less marriages. Especially if you've been sexual with 20 different people, and every time you kiss your husband or something, there's always something that reminds you.
Oh gosh, all you have not 20, just like one other
I know.
And then all of that's in your head.
You reflect back, and it's just, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. You won't die, but it's part of the struggle. I don't like the struggle. I know. I mean, that's why it's a struggle. If we liked it, it wouldn't be a struggle. So my advice to you is don't try to get your husband to be something that he's not. You married him. You picked what he has, who he is. You need to zero in on that and love and appreciate that and value that. And I do think it's fine to keep telling him. You can keep reminding him, hey, do more of this. That's fine. The thing is, you'll probably have to remind him till the day you die. Mm-hmm.
It's not that you can't ask for it.
No, you can ask for it, but I mean, it's you're not going to. Here's the other thing. I asked him 5 times. He doesn't do it. You know, these women are so goofy with their heads. You know, they want to ask one time and that fixes it. You will ask him, seriously, till the day you die. Let's say you're married for like 75 years by God's grace. You will constantly remind him, pay attention to me. I like it when you pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. I like it. I like it when other guys pay attention to me. I want you to pay attention to me. Oh, he's kind of clueless. Yes, that's what you got now for the rest of your life. It's not horrible. It's not bad, but it's not going to become automatic. And you have to be careful with yourself that you don't get yourself in situations where you get yourself in trouble. You say you like it. Well, the good thing is that she's aware that she likes it.
Yeah.
So then,
you can be careful with it.
Be careful with
it's worse if you have this going on and you don't even know it. You're just out willy-nilly.
Look, if I knew this lady and they came over, I'd just, I'd give her a hug and I'd laugh at her stupid little jokes. She'd laugh at my stupid little jokes and she'd probably love every second of it. Okay, fine, but careful. Just be careful, you know. Everybody at some point would like to, or does tell their spouse, I wish you were more like these other people who give me this attention. Okay, so you just have to keep asking, but you have to keep asking until the day you die. You know, at some point, everybody wishes their spouse was a little bit more like that guy or that girl. Don't you think that's true?
Yeah.
By and large?
Yeah, that there's always somebody that is closer to your ideal.
Yeah, but just in a certain area.
Yes.
You know, you don't know the whole package that comes with that.
It's like, oh, I like the way that he does this or that she does that, but then there's a whole bunch of crap that if you lived with them all the time, you probably wouldn't like.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it is what it is. So we all notice things that we enjoy from other people and things that some of it's fine, some of it's neutral, some of it's a little dangerous. You're a smart girl. You can tell what's not good for you. And if you want it from your spouse, ask for it. But I'm promising you're going to have to ask and ask and ask and ask and ask and ask until you're both dead. And they don't have to ask anymore. That's fine. Just get comfortable with it. Just keep reminding, keep tweaking. That's what it is. I wish I know nobody wants to hear that.
Well, they think that if you ask one time that he should remember that. Like she says he's clueless. Well, just because you need to remind somebody of something more than once doesn't mean that they're clueless.
Yeah, it's not.
But maybe he is.
Well, it's not so much as clueless. It's just at some point you would think they're clueless. But it's the women the same way. I know guys ask their wives, I want more attention. I want more attention. Oh, yeah. Got to constantly remind them.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Look, you married that person. They're not going to be something different. They can act differently, but acting is acting. Yes. They can give you what you want.
Well, then it enters the whole problem of, but I don't want him to just do it because I'm asking him. I want him to want to do it.
Yeah, well, then you're delusional.
I want you to pay attention to me.
You need to quit smoking marijuana or whatever else that you're doing because this is the classic, particularly on the female side. But there's guys the same way. I shouldn't have to ask her, why didn't she just do it? Because that's who you married, okay? The thing is you can ask them and remind them, and then they will do it for a while. And then they'll slip back because that's who they are. What do? You go to them and ask them again and remind them, oh, I need this from you. Oh, okay. And generally couples who do very well are constantly reminding each other.
Yeah, and not getting mad
and not getting mad about
it.
But constantly reminding each other, this is what I need from you. My wife has to remind me of things that she needs from me, and I have to remind her of things that I need from her. Always reminding each other.
It's when you don't get mad.
No, when you get to the point where you start wishing that wasn't there and that, if there was just somebody else that you wouldn't have to remind, that's when you get yourself in trouble. And it is what it is. So you just have to get comfortable. Couples who have great marriages throughout their lives, if you'll ask them, tend to remind each other over and over and over and over and over and over again what they need from each other. That, my dear, is normal. Anyone who comes to you with a book or a song or this, if you just do this, you'll automatically get this from this other person, they're delusional. They're not telling you the truth. Just get comfortable asking for what you want. Everybody has it. But I know everybody, I don't want to have to ask. I just want it to happen automatically. That's where you're making a mistake.
If they loved me, they would.
Well, inevitably, they'll run into someone who seems to automatically give them what it is that they want. That's where you have the affairs. That's where you get yourself in trouble. The problem is you don't know what else comes with that, okay? You can get what you want from almost anybody. A lot of girls are married to guys that never want to talk. Mm-hmm. That drives them crazy. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. One is you can get some girlfriends and talk your brains out. Mm-hmm. But at some point, she wants to talk to him. Mm-hmm. And you just say, I need to hear that. And so, okay, so he'll talk a little bit. But give it a couple of days and he'll go back to the way he is. Because that's who you married. Yeah. Just keep reminding him, hey, talk to me. And don't get mad about it. Don't get whiny. And the same with the guy. I need this from you. I always got a reminder. Yeah, that's it. That's what people don't understand. That is it. The constant reminding. I should do a whole sermon on it.
That's actually
You got to remind. In fact, the Bible, even Peter writes to the church. First Peter, second Peter, whatever. It's one of the two. I got a 50% chance of getting it right. Writes to the church about these. He says, I'm going to keep reminding you. I know you know these things already, but I have to remind you. That is life. That's why you just don't read the Bible one time.
Yeah. That's why I got it.
If you could just read the Bible one time, I got it, we're done, we're good. It doesn't work that way.
Isn't that the intention of communion and the Last Supper? Like you're always supposed to be remembering what he did.
As often as you do this, remember me, remember, over and over again. Absolutely.
So it's a constant reminder.
That's why you go to church. You don't go to church one time and go, we're good.
I got it.
We're good. It's right. Yeah. Look, there's times in your life where you really get it.
Yeah.
And you think, this is it.
I got it.
So finally, I got the right focus and the right energy and the right passion, and I learned what I needed. This is it. I'm done. No. Because chances are by next Sunday, you're going to be screwed up again in some other area.
Well, and don't you think in marriage people do that? Like they just think, well, we've arrived. We've gone to enough classes or we've done this. We've been married long enough. We've had this argument for the last time. So finally we've arrived. And sadly, you never arrive. There's always something.
Then that's what they're uncomfortable with. Yes. And that's what they don't get. Anybody who's selling you that they have a solution how you can get someone to be a certain way forever is just selling you something. It's not true. Get comfortable. All you guys, get comfortable reminding each other what you need from each other. If you will do this, you can have a successful marriage. It's just that simple. But you hit it. They don't want to remind him. If I have to ask him to do it, he doesn't really want it. No. But here's the other thing. He doesn't really want to do it. Of course he doesn't want to do it. That's not the point.
Which is a whole nother rat's
thing.
nest.
It's not.
If he really loved me, he'd want to do this.
No, it doesn't work that way. And vice versa. He wants things from you, and you think, well, you really love me. You want to have sex all the time,
That's right.
No.
She might really, really, really love you, but she doesn't want to have sex with you all the time.
But you got to work this through. You got to keep reminding each other. That is it. That's what it is. It really is. People just don't like to be reminded. They're tired of the reminding. That's when they give up.
Yep.
The people who get tired of the reminding or don't want to remind, these are the ones who have terrible marriages. The ones who are comfortable with the reminding and always reminding each other, these are the people who succeed.
Yep.
And the people I talk to, people finally, after 12 years, are finally getting divorced because she
tired of the reminding.
She got tired of the reminding or wouldn't remind I hope he would just automatically have a revelation. It doesn't work that way. The reminding, that's what it's all about. All right, we'll take a break. Got to remind ourselves to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Download your free Mark Gungor app today to see all of the latest from the world of Mark Gungor.
Wasted wilderness of complacent faces. Many clouds rolling in.
The music of Jimmy Bratcher. Check out his music, jimmybratcher.com. What do you got?
Okay, a guy wants to know, why does Mark suggest a year free from porn, or like some other articles say 3 to 5 months? Why do you suggest a year, that it takes that long? Does it take that long to physically recover? Is that biblical, he wants to know?
Well, but there's nothing biblical about how long it takes to recover. It's just general. You got to advise something, that's my advice. Some say 5 months, some say 6 months. The reality is, it's like a serious addiction. Mm-hmm. You get someone who is a heroin addict, and he makes it 6 months. Okay,
that's pretty good.
That's good. But when it gets to a year, it just seems to be.
Then you know that a year is.
Why is he asking?
He was having his issues.
And he hasn't gone a year, or he thinks it's too painful to go a year? Or?
No, it wasn't that. He was just curious as to the length of it.
No, it's just, there's some people say not a year's not
He said that he has quit successfully for about a month, but he tends to get extremely depressed when he fails and relapses.
That's my point, you dork.
Yeah.
You're not free of it yet.
Yeah.
That's why you go a whole year. What he's trying to say, well, I'll make it 3 weeks. Well, you're still not over this. When you can go a year, now we got something. He can't go a month without messing up. And these guys, how old is this guy? You have any idea?
I think that he's probably younger. Yeah.
I was talking to a guy recently, he's 30s. And, man, we aren't married yet. Well, he has all his reasons and this and that and the other. And I said, do you masturbate? Well, yeah. That's why you're not married.
Yeah, because you don't have to.
You're cheating the system. You're making love to Mr. Hand. As long as Mr. Hand is there to you, they're playing this game.
Yeah.
But they don't realize how much Mr. Hand is messing them up.
Yeah. Because they'll get married and they'll still rather have Mr. Hand.
Mr. Hand.
A lot of them, that's true.
It's not reality. It's just not reality. You guys think you're doing something that's temporarily fixing. It's not fixing nothing. You're deceiving yourselves, falling into a web of nonsense. These guys then get married. They can't quit it. They still would rather make love to Mr. Hand.
Well, because it's easier. Do you think that that's honestly the biggest
lazy,
reason?
yes.
They
have no
become so lazy.
They
it's
have
like,
no discipline.
right here, right now, I can get it. I can get my rocks off.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
The reality is making love to a woman can take a considerable amount of effort and energy.
Time,
and
effort,
and being nice and priming the pump and all this stuff.
Don't even deal with her.
Oh, yeah. These guys, they're just lazy. They get in the shower and they're just happy to meet Mr. Hand, I mean, it's awful.
It is.
And they just cheat themselves. They don't. And here's the thing. The quickest way that you can drain your testosterone, guys, masturbate. It drains men's testosterone. They don't know this. And then they start having testosterone problems and the low T, and pretty soon they're not interested in sex at all with anybody or anything, not even Mr. Hand anymore. They start having physical problems, aches and pains. You start having to watch all these low T commercials on TV. Why do you think all that stuff all of a sudden pops up? Why all of a sudden everybody's got low T problems? Why is that so major? Because of all this masturbating that's going on for men. It is draining them. It is absolutely absurd. Anyway, he's caught in a trap. He wants me to, well, why's it got to be a year? Because you can't, it's not a year. It's not at the end of the year you got to masturbate again. Go at least a year, but not anymore. And then you stop. You just stop. You don't do it anymore.
For a relationship. To be clear of that for about a year before you pick up and get into a relationship.
Yes.
Because if you're free for a month, like he proves, and you get into the relationship after a month, well, guess what you're probably going to do? Start up again. That's not fair to her.
I know
That's
it.
not fair to her. That's
Absolutely.
I don't know
Because
if he's
robs her.
understanding.
No, they rob her. And these guys date, and while they're dating, they're still masturbating. That's how they keep
Because this isn't about you, friend. This is about the woman that you're going to put through hell because you can't stop it.
Yeah, you want to make love to Mr. Hand? Have at it. And you can explain that to God someday. The Bible doesn't say anything about masturbating. Really? What do you think Jesus meant when he said, if your hand offend you, cut it off? What do you think he meant? Your hand's going to stick in your eyes? Your hand's going to start choking you with it?
How will it offend
you don't think Jesus talked about masturbating? You're a dopes. All you all are dopes that don't understand. That's exactly what Jesus was talking about. So you want to make love to Mr. Hand, then you can do it, whatever. Explain it to God someday. It's not my problem. It's your problem. What you are doing is you're robbing this other girl because she's going to think that you're going to be passionate towards her, and they're not passionate towards her. They get married, and they still stay with Mr. Hand. So pathetic. All right, we'll take a break. Be back with more right after this.
Want more of Mark? Visit markgungor.com. There you will find everything that Mark has to offer.
Do I dare let myself sit a while and ponder?
The romantic music of Michael O'Brien. I was just with Michael, and he's a great guy.
I still want to see him one of his shows.
He was great. It was just him and a grand piano.
Oh,
He actually plays rather well.
he does.
Yeah,
He does.
I was impressed. And
Very talented.
no, yeah, and boy, the guy can sing great songs. It was fabulous.
Yeah, he did his little romance, the date night stuff, right? His love songs.
He opened for me, so yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all So he did about 20 minutes or whatever, half hour, and then I got him, did my deal. But
Yeah, he's very talented.
great guy. Yeah, check out his music, michaelo.org.
Okay, this is a mother writing of dating questions. She wants to know, what do you think about group dating for teens? Her daughters are 14 and 17. She said, I was thinking just about casual group dating, nothing serious. Would you recommend it?
I'm not a big fan of it. And I'm not sure I've quite articulated why. Maybe we can articulate it here out
Okay,
loud.
let's dig through your brain, figure it out.
Well, the problem is one of the problems that we have in the church. Ideally, this is ideal, okay? Ideally, our kids would grow up and they would marry the girl from the same church. But we take these youth group people and we stick them all close together. And then they start feeling more like brothers and sisters. Exhibit A, back here.
The boy behind the camera.
Okay? Raised in our church, but so close with this one particular girl. He knows what I'm talking about. Gorgeous chick. But it's like a sister to her. And I think that's just crazy. If they would get more separation, there's more of that natural physical attraction that occurs because you don't know them that well. In fact, usually, if a new girl who looked anything like this other girl showed up at our church, he would be starstruck.
Yeah.
Wow, who's that new girl, right? If a new boy, if he comes in, in fact, we just swap. We send him to another church. I guarantee you, every single girl in that church would say, holy cow, who's that good-looking dude with the beard, man?
Yeah.
Good looking, right? They would all be drawn to him. That's exactly what happens. So the church actually hurts itself by putting these boys and girls too close to each other, just in the youth groups, I think. All right? Then you do the group dating thing. All you're doing is amplifying that. At 14 years ago and hanging out, all kind of group dating, and the guys are being guys, and they're kidding around, they're farting and laughing.
Yeah.
And, at some point, it's like, it's just...
The mystery and the mystique
is all gone. So by the time they hit 18 and come out, the last thing in the world he wants to do is date him.
Yeah.
Well, I've known him, watching him scratch his butt since he was 12.
Right.
So all that mystery is gone. So I think it actually hurts us. So am I in favor of group dating? I am not. I am in favor of keeping these boys and girls as far away from each other as conceivably possible until they start hitting a point where they start really becoming sexually aware. And boy, I really, and now it's more like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Because, within 17, if they fall in love with each other, which you don't know, but they could, they can get married at 18 or whatever, and start doing life together. And it's a whole different ballgame. So my problem is this familiarity that happens. And quite frankly, a lot of y'all that go to churches and you're moaning and groaning because you can't find anybody, if you're really serious, you need to go to another church.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee he shows up at the nice big church on the other side of town,
Yep.
all those girls are going, wow, who's that guy?
Yeah.
And send some of the girls over here, and also the guys go, ooh, who's that girl? Because of the familiarity thing is gone. Well, so, no, I like my church better. Well, that's the problem. So everybody stays in their church. Nobody goes out and
like
they're praying, God, send me a spouse. And they're, go to singles conferences, 200 single people sitting there, nobody can find a spouse.
Yep.
Really, what about the person sitting next to you?
Not know him.
Grab that person. So anyway, so I'm against, I get into enough things I'm intensely against. My advice is stop the group dating. My advice is stop sticking the boys and girls together in the youth groups. Keep them separate. If they would do that, you see what would happen. They'll grow up and they'll start falling in love with each other and getting married and fix a whole lot of problems. All right, see ya.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.